ThinkCell site, their company website. And just like I mentioned yesterday, that PowerPoint has been a very useful tool in developing and communicating information with different categories of intended audience. There are a lot of functionalities therein that helps someone to categorize his text, do some rapid visualization of data using charts, but it has its own limitations. There are so many things that PowerPoint charts can't do, and because of that gap, companies like this recognize it as an opportunity to develop an easier, more comfortable, and better way of representing data on charts, and then monetize this innovation so that people will be able to subscribe and they will use it to make charts for presentation on their PowerPoint. So these applications are usually added on the PowerPoint as add-ins or plugins. We have a lot of them, but our focus is on ThinkCell. So if you have it uploaded on your system and installed, it will show on your Microsoft PowerPoint and Excel as well. And it has a lot of functionalities, like I mentioned, that will help you to easily navigate through charts, make charts faster, and make it more visible and more interactive. Ideally, for someone to use ThinkCell, he has to have the license key for the software or for the tool, but the company provides like a 1 month window period for someone to just experience using ThinkCell. So it's free, the 1 month period that you have. So it's an opportunity for someone to learn, experience, and try using it for his presentation. And I think that's the opportunity. So how will someone get the free version? So if you look at the home tab for ThinkCell, you will see that there are a lot of menus: products, order, download, resources, career, and company. So for the products, it just shows you why using ThinkCell. But if you want to have it installed on your system, you need to use this download version, the download menu, and you will see that there are two options: either an existing customer or a free trial. And in our case, we want to have a free trial version, which is available for use for 30 days, and there is no restrictions in the number of users or machines and have you. But a major requirement is that your system has to be window 10 and above, if I'm not mistaken, and then your office should be version 7 and above. So you need to look at your system and see if it doesn't meet this requirement. Then you need to either upgrade or get another system that you can use that has this peculiarity. So it has to at least be Windows 10, and the Office should be version 7 and above. Okay, so let's assume this is our new PowerPoint presentation, and on the menus, you will go to Insert. When you go to Insert, you will see that there will be a plug-in for ThinkCell that will automatically be incorporated into your PowerPoint deck. So also, if you go to Excel, you will also see that it has the ThinkCell functionality, because there are situations where you can have your data on Excel and you link it to a chart on PowerPoint, and all that you need to do if there is any change is to date the figures on the Excel, and it will automatically update on the chart. So we will run through how to develop maybe 3 basic charts, and then for the rest, there is a tutorial on the website which I will employ each and every one of us to take his time and go through. But this is just to provide us with the basic so that we understand how to use the basic charts for our slides presentation that we are preparing. So basically, the basic types which we have used in the dissemination deck are the bar charts, pie charts, and then maybe stack charts, and then line graphs, and then a mix of the two. So starting with bar chart, which is the most basic, assuming that we have this information that for Kano, for example, we have total number of 38 facilities. For example, if we want to see how many facilities are operating for 24 hours among these two groups, we will see in intervention group we have 19 facilities, or maybe 10 facilities. And then in the control we have 5 facilities that are operating for 24 hours. So we want to input this in a bar chart. We want to see it as a bar chart. What do? I will go to insert, then click on my elements icon under the think cell functionality, and you will see below that there are different ways by which you can represent your data, but you need to understand which chart is most appropriate to use, so that you get the information clear for whoever is seeing it and is looking at the presentation. So we say that we are using bar charts. If I click on any chart, you will see that there is an arrow on both the 4 angles of the charts, but one of them is highlighted, is shaded red. So that indicates the direction which the chart will show when I paste it on the PowerPoint. So if I want to change the direction, I will click on the arrow to the right side, and if I click it like this, it will appear with the direction looking at the right. So for example, let's try this. Okay, I click with the direction of the arrow showing upward. So you will see that I am able to move it around the PowerPoint interface, and wherever I want to paste it, I will just double click, and it will be pasted there, and you will see that automatically the information sheet where I need to input the figures will also open up. So I will close it, and as another example, okay, now the arrow is looking or is pointing leftward. So if I click on it and I click on the sheets, it will also appear, but you will see that they are looking at different direction. So what if I already passed it like this, but I want to change the direction? You will see that there is an arrow pointing at 2 directions here above. So all I need to do is to position my cursor on that, and then left click and turn it to any direction that I want it to my preferred direction. So if I want it to be looking downward, I will just point to the red icon here, and then it will start looking downward. If I want it to look leftward, I will first click on these 2 arrows. My cursor will change to a semicircle arrow, and then I will click left click, and then move it to the direction that I want it to point at. So that's about that. So now I have my chart. but this is the information that I want to put in the charts, the number of intervention and control facilities. So all I need to do now, if I want to open up the data sheet, is to click on, either double click on the chart, or you will see below here there is an icon that looks like a table. I can also click on it. Once I click on it, it will open. And when it opens, you will see that we have two levels here. We have two categories here. We have the levels on the left side, and then the category above. So, for example, if I want to see data by, for example, according to years. So, for example, maybe in 2023 and in 2024. So these now are my categories, and then under each category we may have different subgroups. So, but here in our case, our categories are what? The intervention and the intervention and the control. So you'll notice that already by default 3 levels were included, but we don't want 3 levels. So you can delete or add any information that you want on the charts. Because we are interested in only one level, we'll say, okay, facilities providing 24 hours services, right? We said for the intervention there were 10, and for the control there were 5. So I have imputed my information. I will now close. In one of the slides sent by one of the colleagues, I noticed that there were some additional series where there was no any information on it, and it will still appear on the chart. How do you take care of that? For example, now I imputed an information here. I imputed figures. It will already put levels for me here, and if I put another information here, it will put another series for me here. So even if I delete this information, the labels here will still remain, and if I close, I will still see it here, and I cannot delete it from here unless I go back into the chart and make sure that I delete these levels. So this is what I have here, that out of my total facilities, these are the facilities that are for facilities providing 24 hours, 10 were intervention and 10 were control. But this is not how we want to see them. We want to see them as different. Different categories. So what do? We transpose, right? So we can just click anywhere, and then we transpose the information. So there is no need for us to start cleaning and then imputing the data again. So if you close it now, it has not updated. So let's assume we have 5 here, we have 5. Okay. the chart. So just maybe to bundle everything together, you will see that the information here is okay. We have the levels here on top of each of the bars that we have here. So two things now. You will notice that this is not the same color that we have on the presentation chart, and you will want to update the color so that it's uniform, for example. So what do I do? First, I need to click on the bars that I want to change the color for, and then by the right here, I will see that there is a pop-up box that will show with different components that we can use to adjust the chart. So for this one, you can change the color. So assuming I want to use this color, okay, it has been changed. And then I also want to change this color. I'll just click on the color and it's changed. And if I have another chart with a different color, all that I need to do is click on this, then click on the color and then drag downward, and you will see eyedropper. So the purpose of eyedropper is for you to just place it anywhere within the chart, and it will take up the color that you put it on top and reflect it on the figure or on the bar that you want to update. So for example, I am putting the eyedropper here. Once I click, this one will also turn to yellow and the other way around. So in case you have a color that is not on the color scheme for things, that you can just select the eyedropper, go anywhere and select it. And just to demonstrate again, okay, I'm clicking here, eyedropper. You will see, okay, I'm coming here, this is black, and it will automatically take off the color and it will turn to black. What if I want to modify the levels that I have here, the data levels? All I need to do is to first click on one. So once I click on one, for all similar categories, whatever I do here, it will change. It will affect the same categories. So for example, now I want to change the font size. I will just click here and then, okay, convert it to 10, right? So for this category also, I can do the same thing. I'll convert it to 10, and I am done. If, for example, I want to see this information as percentage, even though I input numbers, it is also possible. So all you need to do is to say, I want to see this information as sum of percentage, right? And if you want to see both numbers and percentage, say, okay, sum of absolute and sum of percentage, and your information will show both as sum of absolute and sum of percentage. But you will notice that the change that I'm making is only affected on this bar. So if I want to reflect it on all, what do I need to do? I will click on this, then press yep.
Sorry, sir, I stopped seeing your screen. I don't know whether it is from my end. I'm just seeing blank page. I don't know whether it is from my end.
Can any other person confirm?
I think it's from your end. I can see his screen.
Okay. It's all right. Let me.
Yeah. So if I want to effect the changes on all the data levels, first click on this one and then control all. Or once you click on this one, you can press control and then you select the other one. But if you have multiple bars and you want to select everything, just click on the first one and then click on it and then press control all, and all the change that you make here will reflect on all the. So now if I want to change the size to 12, it will affect all the bars. And because here I am having various forms, here is showing in both numbers and percentage, while the other one is just in absolute number. So I want to make it uniform. So I want to make it sum of absolute and sum of percentage, so it will be reflected on all this. Okay, now I don't have data levels here. or it was there initially but I deleted it. How do I add data labels? I will just click on the whole chart and then right click. So once I click right click, you will see that a cycle will show with different functionalities that I will use to customize my chart. So for example, if you look at this one, it will say what add legend. So it will help you to add legend or labels for your chart. So once I click on it, it's showing the label here by the right, telling me that black is intervention and red is control. I can resize this as much as I can. Okay, I can move it around and then click on it. I can change the size, for example, to 14. I can make it bold. I can make it have an outline and what have you. And I can also delete it. And I can bring it back at any time. And then also for some charts, you require having access just to make sure that, okay, the scale that you are using for the calculation is obvious. So if I want to add a scale for my chart, I will have it here. And if I want to delete it, just click on it, delete, and it's gone. Okay. So I want to add grid lines, for example. I will have grid lines. I want to delete grid lines. Just click all, delete, or you click and then you remove grid line. So for any of the function that is on use already, you will see that there is no provision for you to add again, but remove. So because we already have grid line, we can remove grid line. Because we already have our category level, we can also decide to remove our category level. So these are all functionalities that Tingsel uses. So now let us try replicating some of the charts that we have so that we are speaking to what we'll be doing during the update of our deck. Okay, so assuming I want to copy, assuming I want to replicate this chart, what we are saying here is we have intervention, control, and total. These are our categories. Intervention, control, and for each of the categories we have two series, yes and no, right? Just like we have it for our chart. And yes, for whatever variable we are looking at, let's say maybe facilities providing 24 hours, yes indicates that the facility is providing 24 hours and no indicate that the facility is not providing 24 hours. So if I want to create a chart that is similar to this, I will go there, click, and then paste it anywhere that I want to have it on my sheet. Okay, now I have my two series and I have my three categories, right? So our series, we say that it's yes and no. These are our series, and then our categories are intervention, all, total, right? So now we have our three categories here, and then we have the data for each. For intervention, we have 81, 21. Okay, they are all 81, 21. So what do? We just say 81, 21, right? Okay. So we have it here. For the total, we can either sum up manually, or if we know that this ideally should form the total, we will just use our equal sign and say, okay, sum. Then we sum what is here. And this is important when you are replicating the same chart for different variables. So you don't need to be updating all the information all the time. So now we have our total, and if we change anything here, our total will automatically change. So now I have similar charts, and you will notice that if I want to move the chart around, all I need to do is to place my cursor on it. It will show these 4 arrows and with a highlight around the chart, and then I can left click and then start moving the chart around. I can also use these cycles that are on the edge of the charts to adjust the size of the chart to any size that I want it to be, depending on what I want to show on my PowerPoint. Okay. And if you have a chart by the side and you are size reducing, also there will be a guided line that will show you a point when the size of the chart you are size reducing or adjusting is the same thing as the one that you already have. So for example, as I'm size reducing this, you will see that there is a red line that is moving above the other chart, indicating to me that the size of this chart now is the same, or the height is the same thing as the one that I already have, just to ensure that the format looks good. So now I have this, but I want to make the figures to show both as percentage and absolute numbers, right? So just like we said, I will first click on this, then click Control All, and all the data levels will be highlighted, and then I will come here and say sum of absolute and sum of percentage, right? And ideally all my percentages should add up to 100. Now I want to change the colors. So what do? I click on one of the bars, select Control All, so it will select bars with the same colors or that represent the same series. So I want to change the color now. What do? I come here and select the color that is similar to this one, or alternatively I'll just go and pick my eyedropper and place it here, and once I do that, all my bars for the same series will reflect the same color. An alternative option is to use the series levels that you have here. So you can just click on this series and change its color. Once you change its color, it will reflect on all the series of the charts that are of the same color. And then this one also I want to change it, so I can either click on this, place Control All, or I will just go to the data level, select the color that I want to change, and now I have my charts. I think this is pretty simple and straightforward, right? This is to know that automatically, because we have these two categories, automatically the information here is calculated as 100%. But when we have a value that do not add up to 100%, for example, we have a third category here, but we are not including that third category. The total that we have here is more than the sum of these variables. So what we do is to come to this area that shows 100% and include what is the actual total. For example, now it is assuming that the total variables we have here is 41, but let's say it is 70, not 41. And then for here, instead of 102, maybe it's 120. So what it will do for us, it will calculate for each variable. It will use this value that we have above here as the reference point, and it will calculate the percentage based on this. So instead of saying for yes for this category initially, instead of saying our percentage will be 20 all over 4100, now it will say 20 over 70. So it will calculate the percentage based on the value that you have here. So, and if you want to make the total also, here you just use the same approach that we did here. You just sum up everything here. Okay, sum this. Okay, so that you have the total here, or you can sum what is below, anyone that you prefer, so long as it gives you the right answer. So now let's come back and see. You will notice that the values that you have here do not add up to 100% because the absolute value that you used in calculating your percentage was more than the sum of the two values. So there are situations when this happens, but in our case, for all the variables in the intervention and control, they should sum up to 100%, and that could also be a check for us to make sure that we are in the right track. So this is for bar charts. Let's quickly do pie charts, or let us use stack charts. So you'll notice that for some of the charts that we made, instead of having the information side by side as packed column charts, it is represented as stack charts. So you have an option. You can just automatically come here. Once you click on the chart, okay, there are other options that you have here that you can use to change the appearance of the chart. And we have stack column here, and then we have 100% column. So let's assume we want to use stack column. So once I click on stack column, my information will automatically change. My information will automatically change to a stack column. And what does stack column means? Instead of having the two series in a category, or the different series in a category represented separately with different bars, you have a single bar, but then it's proportionately divided to represent the different series for each of the categories. So for example here, under the total, you will see that below here for facilities that do not operate for 24 hours, for example, we have 42%, and above here we have 53.2%, instead of having them side by side. And then for the data levels, if you are not comfortable with the way that your data levels are positioned, you can also change them. So all you need to do is to click on it, and then you will see that there is a four-sided arrow by the side that will appear. So click on it, left click on it, and you can toggle around. You can move around the figure so that it suits your charts and the way that you want to have it displayed. Then another thing, I see that we are almost at the top of the hour, is if you want to adjust the size of your bars, okay, maybe this one they are too thick, you want to make them slimmer. So all you need to do is just click on one category. You will see that there will be two cycles that will be appearing on both ends. Click on one of the cycles and you drag. And as you are dragging, it will be showing you that, okay, your column width will increase by, column width gap has reduced by 10%, and it will be showing you the new size for your columns. So when I release my left click, it will assume the new size. Okay, if I'm not happy with this, I will just, okay, I'm clicking another column again, and I want to reduce the size so that it looks smaller. So it's very flexible. You can move around with it and you adjust it as appropriate so that it suits your purpose for your presentation. So this is for stack column and for clustered bar charts. The next one that we have is the pie chart. And I think one place where we use an example for pie chart is for facility, or for in the household survey, where we look at women that have ever attended ANC, right? So let's assume this is our pie chart that we want to use. Okay, we have it placed here, and then we click on it. So, but for pie charts, it only reflects one category of data. So you can also use it for two categories of data. For example, saying for intervention and control, that's not possible. So you have to represent for only one category. So for example, let's say attended ANC. This is our first series. Attended ANC. Did not attend. Okay, so I am having it here as percentage, right? So I can either use values, let me see, 1,200, and then 15,000. So, but then what do you notice? Because the okay, now we have our charts. Okay, these are the people that did not attend ANC. These were the people that attended ANC. But we are not happy with this level. We don't want it this way. So what do? Click on one of the levels, press Ctrl All, and then delete. And once you delete, right click on the charts and then add legend. So you will see your find legend appearing by the side. If I want to change the color for the different series, all I need to do is to come identify what color do I want to use. Okay, I'm using black here. Okay, now it's turning to black, and I want to change this to yellow, for example. Okay, and it's changed to yellow. So it's very flexible, and you can resize it as much as you can. Okay, you can enlarge it, and then you can size reduce it as appropriate, so that it can fit whatever form of information that you want to show and whatever format that you want to have. A variant of this is the donut chart. Okay, this is the donut chart. It is the same format. The only difference is that this one, it has a hollow cycle inside, and that's maybe where it got the name, donut. So you can reduce or enlarge the internal circumference as you deem fit, and then you can also enlarge the outer circumference. I think I will pause here.